This video shout out goes to Heather. Leave a comment if you want to be shouted out in the next video. Splatoon, the series we all know and love. Such unique gameplay and an art style that sets it apart from any other game. Exceeding everyone's expectations, Splatoon skyrocketed into being one of Nintendo's biggest franchises. Very good for Nintendo, but this popularity had an unintended side effect. Bootlegs or rip-offs begin to start popping up. Franchises such as Mario suffer from this kind of thing a lot. So many fake toys and games made by shady companies just wanting to make a quick buck. Like, what is this? What? That being said, Splatoon falls victim to this as well. I'm talking about a full-on rip-off bootleg version of Splatoon, a game that has a surprisingly interesting history and very interesting characters and gameplay. That game is Paintman Go. Yes, you heard me right. It is called Paintman Go. To be fair, that's just a Chinese version's name, and it definitely won't be called that in the English. Nope, it is still called Paintman Go. Before we jump right into the game, let's take a look at its history. Paintman Go wasn't always called Paintman Go. In fact, it used to be called Sepia Go. Now, this was just a straight up bootleg of Splatoon. Saying they stole some assets and models wouldn't be accurate. They just straight up stole the whole game. Literally everything. The music, stages, characters, gameplay, weapons, literally everything you could ever think of. They just put Splatoon on a phone. At first that sounds kind of cool, but look at this. It barely worked and it just looked terrible. They even took hero mode, which is just, wow. I'm pretty sure the entire campaign is here, but all I can really find is this video where this guy shows off the menu. I wonder if anyone's ever beat it. I hope not for their own sake. Though it is just a bootleg, it's quite surprising to see how much truly was copied from Splatoon. I hate to say it, but it's actually kind of impressive. This is rather old news though. Most people were talking about this when Splatoon 1 was still the newest game in the series, so why am I here talking about it again? Well, Sepia Go was shut down by Nintendo. I wonder why. The dev team, can I even call it a dev team? Anyway, the dev team had to think of a new game idea to make money. So, they had the brilliant idea of copying Splatoon again. This time, they wouldn't just steal the entire game, but actually make some new assets for once. Though they would still practically steal the idea and some parts, of course. That just goes without saying. Most of the times, you can tell that Paintman Go was still built off the Sepia Go engine, which is just like a copy of the Splatoon's engine, but like really, really crappy. Well, now that all the history is out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into Paintman Go. And at the end, I will kind of go over how I got the game, but just hang tight. We're greeted by a menu that I cannot understand because I do not understand Chinese. That doesn't stop me though. It looks like you have to make an account, but you can also just log in as a guest. The main menu has some interesting music, nothing special. You can kind of tell it's trying to copy Splatoon though. As the game starts up the tutorial, we can see a city that looks like it came straight from Splatoon. Honestly, if this was stolen, I wouldn't even be surprised. We see some familiar sites like the old spawn point and a sign that reminds me of the Squid Force logo. There's also a poster that says beloved virus, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a virus on my phone after downloading this game, so that sign's actually pretty accurate. An anime woman is there to explain the controls, but it's all honestly pretty straightforward. So I just skipped everything. It's not like I could understand her anyway. After the tutorial, the game asks for a name and immediately throws you into a match. It looks like we're in a pretty desolate and sad version of Humpback Pump Track. Seeing Splatoon 1 and 2 maps in very low quality may be your recurring theme, by the way. The round starts and wow, this is worse than I thought. The movement feels absolutely terrible. Ink spreads in the worst way possible and it feels like it takes 2 seconds for your ink tank to run out. Honestly, this just feels like garbage. Enemies are just spawning out of nowhere. Luckily, these are definitely bots. In fact, I'm not sure if I actually go against another real person in this whole video. We get our win and get out. We don't see any map screen showing, you know, which team won with the most ink turf. We just have a little scoreboard in the middle of the HUD in the game telling you who's winning, so it doesn't even matter. The characters look really, really strange. You can tell they're trying to be inklings, but just can't be for legal reasons. Other than that, I think the characters look fine, just very generic and boring, not really anything I'd be interested in personally. As soon as we exit the match, we are bombarded with pop-up menus and red exclamation marks. Yeah, this is a mobile game, alright. After getting through all of that, I find out that you can actually unlock characters that each have a signature weapon. A lot of weapon classes from Splatoon 1 are actually here. We have shooters like the Splattershot and the Jet Squelcher, we have chargers, blasters, rollers, splatlings, and oh dear god, what is that holding the octo brush? Anyways, to unlock characters, there's a gacha mechanic. Yep, This is truly a soul-sucking mobile game. This isn't the fun shell-out machine that takes in-game currency from Splatoon 3, but rather a cash-grabbing mechanic that forces you to pay real money to buy premium gems for a small chance to get a character you like. This isn't to say I hate every gacha game. In fact, I actually like some gacha games. It's just the way this game goes about it, where you don't even unlock characters, you just unlock a piece of a character, is what really turns me away from it. The game wants you to spend real money on that in this quality of a game. Luckily, it gives you a few free tries and even some free currency, so I guess for a first-time player, it really isn't that bad. The game automatically gives you a roller character, so I decided to try them out, and oh hey look, it's Muscle Forge Fitness. Kind of. The roller kinda works. You can actually do vertical and horizontal flicks. It just makes this sound for some reason. And you can transform into this robot sweeper ink thing. Honestly, I have no idea how to describe what just happened. This is actually a pretty good time to bring up the lack of squids in Paintman Go. When you go into squid form out of ink, you can actually see that we transform into like a little sentry turret robot thing. Honestly, it's kind of cute. I don't really understand what ink has to do with these robots or anything, but you know, whatever. Moving on from gameplay, the music. The music for the game isn't directly stolen, but you can tell that the music is trying to mimic the style of Splatoon's. I showed a bit of the title theme earlier, but the battle music, it sounds fine other than the fact that it's like a 40-second song on a loop the entire game. But this part right here, that sounds oddly familiar, right? Here is Splatak, the original song. There's also a Now or Never theme that plays in the last 30 seconds of a match instead of the last minute. The beginning sounds like a copy of Splatoon's, but I can't really say anything else about the ending. Mainly because the ending of Now or Never just gets cut off by the winning theme. It's just very abrupt and random. From what I could tell, the win theme wasn't a copy of anything. The losing theme, though. Yeah, that definitely sounds like Splatoon 1's. The absolute worst and most blatant offender for this, though, in my opinion, is the main menu screen. This is literally just the shop theme from Splatoon 1. It's not even trying to hide it. Just listen. Yeah, wow. Many sound effects were ripped straight from Splatoon as well. The bomb, throw, and explode sound effect is the perfect example. Some stuff really is just stolen from Splatoon. It isn't just sound effects and music though. Back to stages, we start to see some more stolen assets, but it really shouldn't be a surprise at this point. The other stages I saw were Urchin Underpass, Sturgeon's Shipyard, and a very, very, very messed up version of Port Mackerel. Seriously, why are all the crates shrunken down so much? It's just so weird. And Wahoo World. I don't know why in the world the bootleg game wants Wahoo World, but maybe we should just let them have it, you know? I think the world would be really better off that way. That joke is kind of overused to be fair, but I don't care. I think it's funny. Piranha Pit is also in this game, but at first I couldn't tell because it starts you on the sides of the map, so I just didn't recognize it. At first I was like, wow, they actually made their own stage, but no, it's just Piranha Pit. Okay, onto weapons. It seems like there is pretty much just the basic weapon types, nothing really too much I want to comment on. But what about specials? What specials are in this game? First off, we have my favorite, the heat-seeking ink strike. Since you can't mark a location on the map, it'll just target a random enemy and just like a heat-seeking missile, track them down and land right on top of them. It's actually kind of scary, and I've gotten a lot of kills from my spawn just pressing the button. I know they're all bots, so it's not really that impressive, but you know, I thought it was kind of funny. There's a bomb rush where the bombs explode as soon as they touch the floor. One that just shoots missiles from your shoulders directly in front of you. It's like a crappy version of Tenta missiles. One that's a black hole vortex that sucks enemies in, which is kind of neat actually, except it's kind of strong because you just can't escape once you get sucked in. And a small protective shield that honestly does nothing. It barely protects you. I don't know why anyone would use it. However, last and certainly least, the one I find the most funny. All chargers get splashdown. I don't understand why they do, but they do. It's just really silly to see chargers get screwed over so hard for no reason in this game. I mean, maybe splashdown's good on chargers. I'm not a comp player, but it seems so useless. Something like Ink Strike would be more fitting, right? As for modes, I thought there was only Turf War at first, but there's actually a few more. 2 more to be specific. First off is a Turf War. The other's a deathmatch where you try to get the most kills. And the strangest one is off-brand Rainmaker. That's what I call it, at least. Instead of a Rainmaker, there's a bird mech sitting in the middle of the stage. You have to get in it and just take it to the enemy spawn. Once you're in it, you kind of just waddle. You can't really go in your ink anymore, and your team doesn't really seem to want to help you either. It doesn't really matter though, because you're kind of just able to walk to the goal. I know the enemies are all bots, but I seriously just got in the mech and walked straight into the spawn. I didn't even die. Twice. This happened 2 times. What is wrong with this game? I sadly wasn't able to find any version of hero mode, which makes me really sad because that was the thing I wanted to see the most. I did see this enemy in the training room though. It wasn't in any of the game modes, so maybe it's for a story mode that I just haven't found. I did sign in as a guest, so maybe I lost out on like a bunch of features. I do wonder if the version I have is outdated though. I saw videos on YouTube of people playing with stages that look like they were actually not just stolen from Splatoon, but I played for like 3 hours and this is all I saw. Speaking of YouTube videos, I found videos of Paintman Go all the way back from 2017. This game has seriously been in development for like 6 years and still looks like this. I don't think it'll ever get better since it's obviously just made to rip off Splatoon and not actually be its own project backed by people who care about it. There is a lot of old stuff that isn't here anymore though. Mainly in some videos I saw like a killer whale, a character customizer, and some stuff. I'll try to find footage for stuff like that, but it's really hard to find information about this game because it only came out in China. Alright. I would not recommend you download and play this game, by the way. Not only because you'll probably get a virus, but because it's honestly just a waste of time. If you have Splatoon, just play that and be happy. This game is honestly trash. The gameplay controls everything is just horrendous, and honestly, you'll probably die as soon as you play it. Of course, I'm kidding. It just feels like a waste of time, and I kind of wish I just did something better with my life. It isn't even fun. Like, there's actually no reason to play it. If you were looking for a tutorial on how to download the game, you're not gonna find it here. I'm sorry, but I seriously advise against playing this game for so many reasons. I do not condone this game's existence, though apparently it's coming to the Play Store soon. I'm not excited about that at all. Maybe they'll clean up the game by just destroying it and cleansing it in fire. That would fix the game up in my opinion. I'm being a bit mean, but honestly, don't waste your time with this game. It's a waste of time. It's not fun. Just play Splatoon 1, 2, or 3. You'll get a better experience no matter what you do, trust me. I can understand some people not being able to afford Splatoon and wanting to play this, and that is perfectly understandable. Just understand that I personally didn't enjoy it. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. That doesn't mean you won't enjoy it. It's just the fact that, in my opinion, it's not a good game in any way. But yeah, that about sums up this entire video. Thank you for staying until the very end. For those of you hearing this, you guys are the real supporters of the channel. It means so much to me. You are boosting me in the algorithm, so thank you so much. I definitely want to do content similar to this. I love the lore of Splatoon, don't get me wrong, but I kind of want to branch out a little bit. I've not really felt a lot of motivation to make lore videos lately, so this was kind of my break. Even though this video took me like 3 to 4 months to make because, yeah. I started this video in January, and here we are now. Nonetheless, I thank you for watching, and I will hopefully be able to upload more and try my best to keep you all entertained. I appreciate it, and have a good one.